Now I want to yield 3 minutes to Ms. Tsongas of Massachusetts, and Ms. Tsongas has been with us on those trips, and I know will share some of her experiences as well.
Gentlelady from Massachusetts is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of this motion to instruct. As we have heard, this motion supports bipartisan Senate language that would help promote the security of Afghan women and girls. Since becoming a member of Congress, I have had the honor of visiting Afghanistan 4 times, several with the Mother's Day trips that Chairman McKeon referenced, and I have been fortunate on those trips to visit, in particular, with some of our military moms who are serving in Afghanistan. These are female soldiers who have children back home, leaving them for months on end. Thousands of soldiers, men and women, go without seeing their family and loved ones for months on end, highlighting the extraordinary commitment that accompanies military service. This service is something, and this commitment is something that we take home with us as we learn from them and from their stories. These servicemen and women have made such very personal sacrifices for the people of Afghanistan. The ever-increasing participation of women in our military demonstrates the important contributions women are making to our effort in Afghanistan and around the world. It also stands in stark contrast to the involvement that Afghan women are able to have in their country's public life. One of the most important observations and lessons that I have learned during this trip, as well as the others, was that if this country is to become more stable and secure, women must be included in Afghan society and government. Several years ago, I visited a school where over 1,000 young Afghan girls cycled through each day, of all ages, very young up to high school. When we asked them what they wanted to be when they grew up, the answers we heard were doctor, lawyer, teacher, even journalist. These are exactly what so many of our own young daughters hope to achieve. These young women felt optimistic about opportunities that were previously unheard of for women in Afghanistan and represent a future of promise for this country. We should take great pride in the work that we have done to elevate their sightlines. Ensuring that these young girls continue to have access to these opportunities, and more broadly ensuring that women are able to participate in Afghan society as a whole, is not only good for the future of Afghanistan, it is good for the United States as well, so that we can help ensure a more peaceful and just future there. On Monday, we were starkly reminded of the tenuous position of women in Afghanistan when the acting head of Women's Affairs in an eastern province was assassinated as she traveled to work. It also reminds us of their extraordinary courage as they take advantage of the opportunities and seek to be full participants in their country's lives. As we reduce our military presence in Afghanistan, the United States must be cognizant of how we will make sure that women continue to have a seat at the table and that the nascent gains for them are not abdicated. This bipartisan language in the motion before us would require that the Department of Defense... Thank you.
Gentlelady is recognized for an additional 1 minute.
Thank you. The bipartisan language in the motion before us would require that the Department of Defense produce a plan to promote the security of Afghan women and girls as it withdraws from the country. It would encourage the recruitment of women as members of the security forces. In fact, several years ago, we met with young women who were being trained to be helicopter pilots, and require the Department of Defense to report back on its progress toward meeting these goals. I strongly urge a yes vote on the motion, and am so pleased to see our chairman's support for it. Thank you.